like that.
Oh, that's cool. Today is the day.
You know what this is? It's a giant piece of carbon fiber. And we're gonna do something really cool with it. I'm gonna show you why we have a couple sheets of this carbon fiber. And this is the reason right here. Because we got carbon fiber inside this car. We have black vinyl inside this car. We have white vinyl inside this car. And we have carpet in this car. Now, we have white vinyl. You can see this, white vinyl. We have carpet over there, and we have carbon fiber over there. And we're gonna have everything we need to make, finally have everything we need to make the amp rack, the box, and everything go together. So the next two videos you're gonna see this car finished and done with. Because it's been sitting here a long time and the customer is really nice, and I don't want him to not be nice anymore. So I have to like finish his car, or it's gonna not be nice. No, it's not nice to not be nice. So I'm gonna finish the car. Anyway, here we go. So I have an idea for the amp rack, and it's kind of big. So the first thing I need to do is figure out how I'm gonna make it. Now, what you're gonna notice is that this isn't flat. It has an angle that comes up and around like that. But I can put my whole finger down the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take this piece of wood, I'm gonna slide it in here. I'm gonna obviously try to work out this angle that it needs to be on the front side. So I'll take off some of this up here and slowly slide it in there until I can get it where I want it to be. That way we can make the angle, and we can make the whole amp rack sides to the sides of the whole car that needs to be. And here we go. A little closer. So now what do you say? All right. So we're close. We're super close. But I'm going to show you how close we need to be, because I'm a fucking weirdo, and why we need to be that close. I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now. So, we need to make an angle like this on our piece, like that. So once we make that angle, look at that. What do you think about that, Gary?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
It's perfect. Now, we're gonna do this. Take this and just figure out where we need to cut. We're gonna cut that out. What we're going to do today, I'm gonna use a tool that I very, very rarely use, super rarely use, and that's this adjustable curve. See that? It's adjustable. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna tape this sucker down to this sucker. Like so. I'm gonna take this guy, just line it up as we go along the edge. See that? Awesome. It's an awesome fucking tool. Get to the end, and we can just adjust everything to be where we need to be. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing we need to do is make it so that it don't move. So what you want to do is take some of this stuff called tape. And you're just going to lock this sucker in. Just like that. Now we got something that's not going to move. And it's super badass. Boom. Right? Oh wait, that's perfect. Gary, how did that happen? How did it happen? Look at, Aaron works here every day and he's amazed. Look at him, he's amazed. All right, it fell down, but we got a perfect angle here. And we can see on this side, Gary, that it's also perfect on the other side. So we're lucky we don't have to make two and kind of make them symmetrical, right? So this is our starting point. We're gonna have to cut this back. We're gonna come back right here. And we're gonna make a pretty big amp rack. It's gonna be pretty fucking big. I'm just telling you guys right now, it's gonna be bigger than any amp rack you ever seen me make on this channel. That's not true because the Camry was bigger. Yeah, it was thick. So again, let's get our little shape going. Once we get our shape going, you'll see where we're going with the next part of this, and you'll see why I started this way. Now, it's very fun to work on stuff like this, but what I like to have is, in this instance, is a digital reference, because we want to reference this part in CAD, because the things that are going to go into this, we're going to design in CAD. That way all of the measurements are correct, and we don't have to like do anything so it's going to be a digital analog thing. It's going to make it easier, and you guys will see why in a second. So we're thinking a couple steps ahead, and the reason that I'm thinking this way is because I want to make sure that I have enough room for the amplifiers, and I want to make some pretty organic shapes, and the shapes, the more organic they are, the easier they are going to be to make. Like if I need to, you know, bend this piece of MDF, I cannot talk today. If I need to bend this, then I need to be able to bend it here, so that later when I make the part, it's easier to make, if that makes any sense. But we're not going to bend anything. It's going to be more of an angle like this. So the first thing I need to do is get some components and see how they measure out. And I think we went over that in the first video for this car, but we need to revisit it because I'm not sure how everything's going to fit, and we don't have as much room as we think we have. Since it's going to be this really weird multi-level tier thing with carbon fiber and lights and stuff, I want to show off different parts on the sides, and I need to figure that out now. I need to figure out how everything is going to work. Big piece of, and go from there. So let me grab an amplifier and I'll be right back. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out that we can't really mount an amplifier here because it doesn't work. And we can't mount an amplifier here. We can, but we need a place to start. So in order to find a starting place, we need to figure out what the material is that we're going to make the bottom out of, and that is going to be 1/2-inch material like this. So I'm going to make a piece that lands kind of at an angle. So this piece starts down here. Let's back it up a little bit. Down here like this. And this piece starts back here. Like this. Okay. And we're just gonna go right around the bottom of this, like so. Just like that. Now, I want to make my life easy. I can take this piece, and I'm going to make my life easy. We're going to find the angles on this bottom piece by putting our piece of half in the table saw like so. Right? And then I'm going to rip this piece of half. This piece of half on the top of this line here and the top of this line here. Just like that. You see that, Gary? See what I'm doing?
Yes, that's what you're doing.
And I'm going to put like that. Like that. See that? So now, here, let's do it on this side. This is way easier. It's way easier. All right, now you can see the lines. Now when you get our piece of half and it goes in here, it's gonna line up on this guy like so. So, now this piece will sit in here like this, right? Next thing we need to figure out is how much amplifier room we have from here. We can put our amp right where our little line is, like so. We can find out that we're gonna be, well, we need that, and then we need, let's go like this. So we're just kind of making levels here. Levels. There's levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit. All right, so I don't want to be back here, so nah. Now this is a very important measurement, and later on you're going to see how important, because we're going to do some craziness. Actually, you know what? I need to back this up. I need to back it up because I remembered that this part. All right, so guys, I made a mistake. We line up here. But if we make that come all the way out here, guess what? We're gonna come into our box, and we don't want to do that. We want to back it up right at this line here, a little bit behind it. So we need to cut this off, reshape this guy, and then we're gonna see where everything goes. So, now we got it right where we need to be. And I want to make sure that our amplificators have some room. Okay. So it looks good. Looks good in the hood. Good in the hood. Boom, like that. Just like that. We have the shape. Now, some of you out there in Facebook land or YouTube land are probably smart enough to figure out what the hell's about to go on here, but I'll explain it to a lot of you. Is we're making the side panels for this amp rack, and the side panels aren't just going to go side to side. They're going to be covered. But since it's a cover, if I do the whole cover on the side, from the side, I'll be able to make an accurate guts, the inside pieces, accurately enough. So when we go to make our panels that come over to the edges, we'll have very little to fix, so to speak. And it'll be super easy. See that? Just like that. pretty darn easy. Pretty darn easy. Now, here's the messed up part. We did all that just so that we can shrink it. And we're gonna shrink it a little bit inwards and down because, like I said, this is gonna be a cover. So the cover is gonna come on top of the other stuff that comes inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer this piece and I'm gonna make another piece that's a little bit smaller. That'll be our actual side piece that comes in here. So that way we can make our bent pieces that come around that match that bent profile that comes down and around. So you're gonna see this thing transform into the bent piece of plexi on the front side that we're gonna have to sand and get it all perfect and stuff like that. And then you're gonna start seeing parts come together like this carbon fiber floor. So the reason we made this really thin is so that, see, you can't go all the way around to the edges, but we made it super thin so that we can laminate this piece of carbon to the floor or to any of the parts that are going in here, and we can cut them on the router very easily without hurting anything, right? So that's why all this is kind of been in flux, because we had to wait for certain parts to get the look that's desired. So the next thing is I'm going to use this template and digitally make the sides that go in here. The sides are going to be neat. Let me see if I can show you guys this. So we got these cool lights. Whew. Almost went for the magic ride. Got these cool lights that are kind of embedded in the sides here, and this is going to be a key part of this installation. Let me get a battery and I will show you. Like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So this will be inside the amp rack doing all its stuff, and it's gonna, like these lights that we have in the doors will transfer to inside the amp rack with the black, the carbon, the lights, and the silver. So it's all starting to make sense. All of this stuff was kind of working in the back of my head. I just didn't have all the pieces together. Now we have all the pieces, now we go. And go fast. Look at that, isn't that really fucking neat? So when it's all put together, you won't even see any of this stuff. So basically on the sides, we're gonna emulate a lot of that door panel design into those side panels. So that way, when you look at this and you look at that, you'll see all of those pieces kind of be one kind of thing. So, yeah. Now, I need to make this again, because I want to make multiples of this so that I can make the side pieces. All right. So now we're going to take this piece that we have, and we are going to take our tape measure. We'll put it in our picture like so. All right, so this is the first time I'm using this. And one of the videos before, I asked for a mouse pad, and Ben Kaufman, old customer friend, who is also one of our YouTube subscribers, thank you, Ben, for being a good client and a good friend and a good YouTube subscriber, got me this super duper mouse pad. This is awesome. This is awesome. I can show you guys my new rig. Right, we got this. And then we got another mouse pad that my daughter got me. That's an actual mouse pad, but it gets better. So my rig is my rig is growing. You got that.
Is growing.
That.
The whole computer setup is growing.
Oh, dude, it's like massive. It's like massive. It's like totally massive. We got our 3D router, or 3D mouse, a regular mouse, my big laptop, my little mouse that my daughter gave me, and this is my whole rig for making shit. So now that I've already fucking exceeded the shop computer by 110%, or was it 101%? But we got it to crash at 101%. I can now do all my shit anywhere. Ooh, this is already in something. I'm already in some crap that I'm doing.
Oh yeah, for those that didn't know, we was trying to run another software on the other computer, and we were making fun of it that it kept lagging and the CPU usage was at 100%. And I told him that it may go at 101% as a joke, and it ended up going there and it went to a blue screen.
Yeah, I went to blue screen.
it just shut down.
Wasn't very happy. So
no, my computer was very unhappy with you.
Computer was pissed. Absolutely. Inside this program, and I made all this stuff before, but I'm making it again. So don't get mad at me for making stuff again, because I get mad at myself for making stuff again. But I will tell you the beauty of Fusion and all these different programs are you can make things and not make them, and in the end you see what it is. If that makes any sense at all. Does that make sense, Gary?
Yeah. You make it in the program. You
see what the outcome is, and then you're like, oh, I hate that. I can't stand it. And then you make something else. So you just waste a bunch of your time doing what you stuff did.
Trial and error.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully, by the time I'm done, you guys will see the entire amp rack all finished. And maybe, if we're fucking lucky, I can even do the bottom thing, and you can see the whole finished product. And then when we go back at the end of the project, we can look at all the files and all that stuff and put them all together, and you can see everything. How does that sound, Gary?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Are you trying to make me feel uncomfortable?
No, I'll tell you more.
All right, so we're gonna start here. This is the original shape that we had in the back, and then we went and we drew on it. We drew on it, and we can see all the different things that we're gonna add to that piece. So we can draw out the pieces that are gonna be carbon fiber, where the light's gonna be, where the black is gonna be, where the silver and the white, all of that's in this drawing, right? And remember, we had that one part that went in here that we had in the back that we know it's in here, okay? So the next thing we did is we extruded it. So what we did was we took the side and we're starting to make it into a 3D shape, right? And then we made it to another shape on the bottom, where the bottom went. And then we took it all up because it was wrong. And then we made a new component. And then we extruded the component. So now you can see, let's turn this off. Let's turn this off. Now you can see one of the panels being made. Then you're gonna see the next component, and then it's another panel. These are all the pieces that we're gonna make. And these are the final pieces because I'm not changing it anymore. And you can see as we progress that these are all from the original. There's the amp board coming in. And then we have the bottom section of the amp rack right down here. And we're gonna extrude another part. This is gonna be, we just go in here. Oh, we gotta turn them on. So this is the plexiglass piece here. And then the next piece we're gonna have is the piece that goes on top. And then we're gonna skip this. Got a new component, which is the whole other side. It's all put together. And you got the end cap on this side. Or mirror that end cap on your seat over here on this side. Then you have the extrusion. So like you're gonna see right here, see how we have a little bit of a lip? We're gonna take that sucker out too. Actually, that's all the way back here. So, we got that. Sorry guys, getting used to my new tools. My new tools kicking my butt. Right? Okay. All right, now we're gonna go next. We made front section. All of our sketches are turned off. We made a front section, and what we did was we took that front and we cut it. So now we're gonna turn this off for now. Now you can see this. See this piece that's an inset? Can you see that, Gary?
Yeah.
It's inset. This piece here is the plexiglass. This piece on the top here is the piece that covers the plexi and hides all the screws and all that stuff. Next, we're gonna have some other stuff that we did, like where we made some changes around the sides. You're gonna see all these things change up here. The next couple things, you see that change?
Mm.
You're gonna see the other side change. And then you're gonna see, I don't know what that is. And then you're gonna see some extruding, and then some more extruding, and this is kind of where we're at. So basically, let me turn this off. Let's turn this off, and then we're gonna be able to look inside. So now you can see inside the whole deal. This is basically what you're gonna be looking at in the car. You see there's a gap here?
Yeah.
That gap is where the plexiglass goes for this amp rack. So, what do you think, Mr. Gary?
Really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So the next step is we're gonna make, so this is the cool thing, guys. I'm gonna turn this off. Let's turn this off. All right, we can take all these pieces, and all these pieces are inside here. So instead of me going and doing whatever, we'll make laser, and we only have to do one side because one side will do both, right? Mm-hmm. We'll make laser properties out of this, right? And this piece that's here, we'll just, let's do this. We'll turn everything off here. We can. I think I want that. Turn that off. Now this piece that we have left, this shape, it looks familiar, right? Let me go get the This is this shape. You can see that?
Yep.
So what's gonna happen is now that we made this shape in real life, we're going to copy all these pieces and they're gonna get glued to other pieces. So we're gonna just make a bunch of templates based off of our computer generated drawing, not this, because this may not be as perfect as this. This is gonna be perfect. All these pieces are gonna fit together like you know. Yeah, you know. They'll fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. And once they go in there, we can add our light. We can add the different sections on here, and then we can put it in the car and build it all up. So tomorrow will be, tonight I may sit down and finish more of this. It's just kind of boring for Gary. I feel bad for him. He's sitting here, he's telling me his whole life fucking story. So we're gonna go home, I'm gonna regroup, I got some other stuff to do in the morning, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Get this goddamn, I keep wanting to call it a Prius, Tesla though. So, all right guys, see you next time.